Well, what's up, fam? This is your girl Amanda, and I'm coming back to y'all with yet another video. So let's talk Erykah Badu. She was trending on Twitter today, and of course I had to see what was going on, honey. So she was trending and people was going crazy on Twitter at what she said. So y'all, before I get into this video, honey, when did Erykah shave her damn brows off? Honey, looking like Whoopi Goldberg. I don't know, but anyway. So this is what she said. I'm a humanist. I see good in everybody. I saw something good in Hitler. Yeah, everyone was giving her the side eye, including myself, because I'm like, Erykah, what you talking about, boo? It was some good in Hitler? I don't think so. There was nothing good about Hitler, period. And so I was like, let me go ahead and read this interview and see what she had to say. Because we all know that Erykah is, not always politically correct on her thinking, because we all know that she's a little out there. We know this already. And so I did go on to vulture.com to see the interview and to read the interview and just to see what she had to say and what led up to her saying that about Hitler. And so I'm going to go over some key points. The interviewer asked, what's your opinion on this larger discussion happening now about whether we can separate the art from the artist, be it XXX Tentacion or Fela or Louis C.K. or Bill Cosby or whomever? And Erykah said, it takes me back to a story my grandmother told me about Jesus and Barabbas. Jesus is standing on one side, Barabbas is standing on the other side, and the people have to choose which one of them could go free. Some people started yelling, Barabbas, Barabbas, Barabbas. Then so many people were doing that the others found safety in numbers. And they also started yelling, Barabbas, Barabbas, Barabbas. People walked up who didn't even know what was going on, and they started yelling for Barabbas to go free. I always think about that. It's so important to me. And y'all, I hope I didn't butcher Barabbas's name, but you get the point. Okay, so then he asked, I think I followed, but can you tell me more about how that parable applies here? She says that I don't want to get scared into not thinking for myself. I weigh everything. Even what you just asked me, I would have to really think about it and know the facts in which of those situations before I made a judgment. Because I love Bill Cosby and I love what he's done for the world. But if he's sick, why would I be angry with him? The people who got hurt, I feel so bad for them. I want them to feel better too. But sick people do evil things. Hurt people hurt people. I know I would be crucified for saying that because I'm supposed to be on the purple team or the green team. I'm not trying to rebel against what everybody's saying, but maybe I want to measure it. Somebody will call me and ask me to come to march because such and such got shot. In that situation, I want to know what really happened. I'm not going to jump up and go march just because I'm green and the purple who got shot is green. The rush to get mad doesn't make sense to me. Then the interviewer asked, well, I agree that as a culture right now, we're better at mobilizing out of a sense of injustice or anger that we are at fighting out what to do next. And she says people can be bad for certain things. They could be bad around children. They could be bad with power. Are those people all bad? Could be. Maybe they need to get kicked off the planet. I don't know. Everything is individual. There aren't rules for how we can or should think about something. We don't have to believe everything we're hearing. At least I don't think we do. I'm glad I don't watch this stuff. And the interviewer says, the news, you mean? And she says, everything. I read the description of an imp, and I think I fit the description pretty well. It's about absorbing people's feelings. And the interviewer says, but does that mean we shouldn't speak up when people, even good ones, do bad things or express hurtful ideas? When I was doing research for this interview, this is a slightly awkward question. You can ask me anything, she said. And the interviewer said, Okay, thank you. I know this is maybe a weird pivot, but I think it's relevant. When I was doing research for this interview, I came across an article from after you'd gone to Israel, where the Israeli press was linking you to Louis Farrakhan and his alleged anti-Semitism. And it seemed like you were being criticized for defending him rather than denouncing anti-Semitism. I don't know if those reports were accurate, but isn't it valid to criticize the hurtful idea in an instance like that, even if you respect the person who holds that idea? And she says, absolutely, but I never made a statement about Louis Farrakhan ever. What you're talking about happened in Palestine. At that time, the working title of my album was Savior's Day, which is a holiday for the Nation of Islam, but also my birthday. So I'd gone to Palestine, and journalists asked me, do you believe in Louis Farrakhan? Do you follow him? Sure, I do. I'll follow anyone who has positive aspects. He single-handedly changed half of the Nation of Islam to clean eating, clean living, caring for their families. He has flaws like any man, but I'm not responsible for that. I said I've appreciated what he's done for a lot of Black Americans. I mean, I'm not Muslim, I'm not Christian, I'm not anything. I am an observer who can see good things and bad things. If you say something good about someone, people think it means that you've chosen a side, but I don't choose sides. I see all sides simultaneously. And the interviewer said, that's not something most of us are good at. We're not, she said. I'm okay with that. I'm also okay with anything I had to say about Louis Farrakhan. But I'm not an anti-Semitic person. I don't even know what anti-Semitic was before I was called it. I'm a humanist. I see good in everybody. I saw something good in Hitler. And then the interviewer said, come again? And she says, yeah, I did. Hitler was a wonderful painter. She said that Hitler was a wonderful painter. Okay, and so the interviewer said, no, he wasn't. And even if he was, what would his skill as a painter have to do with any good in him? And so Erykah said, okay, he was a terrible painter. Poor thing. He had a terrible childhood. That means that when I'm looking at my daughter Mars, I could imagine her being at someone else's home and being treated so poorly, and what could have spawned. I see things like that. I guess it's just the Pisces in me. And the interviewer said, I'm perfectly willing to accept that you might be operating on a higher moral plane than I am, but I think going down the route of Hitler was a child once too is maybe turning the idea of empathy into an empty abstraction. And she says, maybe so. It doesn't test my limits. I can see this clearly. I don't care if the whole group says something. I'm going to be honest. I know I don't have the most popular opinion sometimes. And the interviewer says, but don't you think that someone as evil as Hitler, who did what he did, has forfeited the right to others' empathy? And she says, why can't I say what I'm saying? Because he did such a terrible thing? And the interviewer says, well, yes, it's also disheartening to hear you say that at a time like now when racism and anti-Semitism are so much in the air. Why would you want to risk putting fuel on that fire? And she said, you asked me a question. I would have chosen not to answer. I don't walk around thinking about Hitler or Louis Farrakhan, but I understand what they're saying. Why would you want to risk fueling hateful thinking? I have a platform and I would never want to hurt people. I would never do that. I would never even imagine doing that. I would never even want a group of white men who believe that the Confederate flag is worth saving to feel bad. That's not how I operate. And so that was basically the interview right there, and what led up to her saying that she saw some good in Hitler. Okay, so y'all, I kind of get what she's saying, but then I can't agree with what she's saying. And, you know, they always say that you should always try to find the good in some people. No, you shouldn't. If you see someone for how they really are, take that with a grain of salt and keep it moving. If someone crossed me once, that's all it takes. If someone showed me how they are one time if someone does me wrong or do something dirty towards me, lie on me, etc., it's a wrap for me, y'all. A complete wrap. I'm not going to try to find any good in them, period. I'm going to keep it moving and keep it going. And Hitler was not a good person at all. So that statement, trying to find the good in some of everyone, I don't get down with that, because people are evil and they continue to do evil things, and I just can't get down with that. I mean, once people show me how they are, I keep it moving and keep it cute, boo. Okay. So yeah, what are y'all thoughts about Erykah saying that? Because we know she is not always politically correct in her thoughts and her thinking and things of that nature. Y'all know she a little out there, honey. So y'all comment down below and let me know your thoughts. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe to my channel so y'all can see more videos like these. And y'all stay tuned for the next video. Alrighty, bye.